let's take a look at some trending topics this morning. So first up, hashtag Meghan. And yes, this is, of course, Meghan Markle. And this to do with the new podcast series. And of course, as you know, at this point, anything Meghan Markle does will obviously trend. And so this new series is trending. And of course, for all sorts of reasons and everything and anything to do with Meghan Markle being dragged along and put into the same pot. So Meghan Markle with that new podcast series, that is essentially why she is trending. The next one is hashtag Gauteng. So Gauteng for a few reasons as well. Obviously, the election of the new Premier that will take place at a special sitting today. And Premier-elect Panyaza Lesufi is expected to take over the reins from David Makura, who resigned earlier in the week. And much talk about what's going to happen, who's going to make his new provincial cabinet, and also, of course, who will replace Panyaza Lesufi as Education MEC in Gauteng. Some of the issues being discussed on Twitter. But there is, of course, also that story of a police station in Gauteng that was robbed of 10 guns yesterday. So people talking about that as well. If criminals can walk into a police station and steal guns, what does that mean for the rest of us and our safety? So those are some of the reasons why Gauteng is trending. But let me also put in now, because these came up later. So you also have the issues of water shortages along with the power outages, and people talking about that. Douglasdale being raised quite pointedly as one of the areas where people have been without water, and worse, the fact that there seems to be some leakages in Douglasdale that's been going on for days that the municipality hasn't taken care of, and yet people are without water. So it's all happening, and lots being said about the situation in Gauteng. As you can see, water shortages. So we've got stage 3 load shedding, stage 2 water shedding. I don't know what's next, but this is where we're at. The next one, of course, says Malema, and this to do with the JSE interviews for various positions in the judiciary that are to be filled. And Julius Malema, had a bit of not a run-in per se, but there was a bit of a robust engagement, I would say, with one of the candidates there, which obviously then was taken onto social media, talking about the electoral court, among other things, and some of what Julius Malema had said about the realities of what we faced with in South Africa. So all stems from those JSC interviews yesterday. And the final one we have is the Patriotic Alliance. So the Patriotic Alliance turns 2 next week. And that's one of the reasons why they are trending. The actual celebrations will be taking place in Reiger Park, which is in Boksburg, in Ekurhuleni. But there was another reason why the Patriotic Alliance was trending, and this has to do with Helen Zille. Now, you would know that there's been a good bit of toing and froing between the Patriotic Alliance and the DA. So Helen Zille yesterday put out, or it's early morning, put out a tweet 9 hours ago saying a message to the voters in Patriotic Alliance wards in Johannesburg. The Patriotic Alliance gave away your vote to put the ANC in power. Patriotic Alliance equals ANC. The DA is the party you can trust with your vote. So this is the tweet that Helen Zille put out. And as you can imagine, there's been quite a robust engagement on that particular one. And people basically asking Helen Zille why she is targeting the Patriotic Alliance and when she became a spokesperson for the Patriotic Alliance. But then again, of course, we've seen this. Remember, at some point in the Western Cape, the Patriotic Alliance was called a party of gangsters by a member of the DA. So I think that particular issue shows that there's no love lost between the two parties at this point. So those are some of the trending topics from earlier, and I'm just taking a look if there's anything else that jumps up right now. Speaking of the Democratic Alliance, Zwagele Mwango has resigned as member of the KwaZulu-Natal legislature, and that is also trending quite high up at the moment. There is, of course, Douglas Dale and a lot of football, as well as ANC in 2024, and people, of course, lamenting what is happening at the moment and saying that maybe it's time for change. So those some of your trending topics at this time.